And a very happy Monday morning, everybody. Monday, September 26, 2022. The best at sea cruise and travel news update brought to you by The Snood Factory, www.thesnoodfactory.com. Your home for Made in USA clothing to keep your pooches and your puppies warm. It's Tom Drake on board the Ruby Princess inside the beautiful Wheelhouse Lounge or Wheelhouse Bar on this ship. It is a gorgeous spot. Leather chairs you can sit and fall asleep in. Music every night. A good, beautiful wooden bar. A really cool spot. I'm inside because outside is ugly. We are in the Pacific Northwest on our way to Astoria, Oregon. It is cold, it is rainy, it is foggy. There's the fog off of deck 7. We are completely surrounded by fog, and the captain is blowing the horn every several minutes as required by maritime law. In fact, the first time I heard that, I stopped the captain and I said, "We were blowing the horn last night. Don't we have like sonar and navigation equipment?" And he goes, "Yeah, we have it, but the little boat ahead of us doesn't." And he said, "It's kind of annoying when you run over somebody." And then he walked away and looked at me like I was a moron. Smart captain. All right, let's get to what happened on this day before we get to the update. On this day in 1960, an event that changed the way we elect our presidents. It was the first televised presidential debate between Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy, and people of a certain age like myself remember it was a disaster for Nixon. He didn't know how to handle it. He was sweating like a guy at an IRS audit. I mean, it was... I was 7 years old watching it with my father, and I went, "Dad, the guy on the left, it looks like his head is leaking." He was sweating so bad. It was really terrible for Nixon. The next time around, he got better. He never got great. There haven't been a lot of great Republican candidates in front of a camera. Ronald Reagan was truly the best. Of course, the Democrats had Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. They could sell Amway, for God's sakes. Anyway, it made a big difference because John F. Kennedy was as cool as could be. It could have been the pills he was taking for the bad back, but he got through that and he got elected, and Nixon didn't. So that's what happened on this day. And let us get to the update. For the people that always say, I've had people say to me, "I want to go on a cruise, but I want a new ship." Well, here's your chance. There are 7 brand new vessels coming to the United States this fall by the end of 2022. Carnival Celebration is coming to town. MSC Seascape, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Norwegian Prima, Virgin Cruises Valiant Lady, Celebrity Cruises Celebrity Beyond, Viking Cruises Viking Neptune, and Silver Seas Silver Dawn. They're all coming, they're all new, and they're all coming to the United States. They'll sail out of Fort Lauderdale and Miami and New York. So if you want to sail a new ship, contact your travel professional, as they say in the industry. This is non-cruise related, and this is, I noticed it because next week I fly to Barbados to join the MSC Meraviglia, and one of the aircraft that was available to make that flight was the 737 MAX 8, Boeing's disaster, the one that was taken out of service because they had 2 fatal crashes, remember, because the computers are all screwed up, and now it is flying again. Well, this came out yesterday that Boeing has agreed to pay a $200 million fine to the SEC because they misled investors about the safety record of that pig. Also, the former chairman of Boeing has agreed to pay a $1 million fine on his own. And a few months ago, they agreed to pay a $2.1 billion fine to the FAA for lying to them, misleading them. And corporate people don't say we lied, we misled them. It's a pig, so I'm not flying that thing. So I rearranged my flights to go in a day early. So it's still a Boeing plane. I'm really worried. I mean, these guys really misled people. And in fact, I did more research, and since that plane got back into service, they've had at least 40 times where the pilots had to they had to correct the computer as it was screwing up, and they've had 5 declared emergencies. I just say that because I ain't flying that pig. All right, what else is going on in the cruise industry? Crystal Cruises. I love these guys. That's the new Crystal Cruises, not the old one. This is the one that's going to rise from the ashes next spring, bought by A&K. They've just joined the Cruise Line Industry Association because they have a lot of fence bending to do. I mean, the previous owner screwed everybody. He left them hanging, expenses, cruise credits that are worthless. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this. The traditional Crystal Cruisers, like, wait a minute, can I trust you? Now, the 2 guys that have bought it, Jeffrey Kent and the Italian guy, you know his name, they're pretty trustworthy, so maybe that'll work out. But in the meantime, they figured they better join the Cruise Line Industry Association and be good partners in the travel industry. And finally, Holland America is very happy to announce that they have all the ships back in service. The Volendam is back in service. I mentioned it in previous update. They were part of a humanitarian effort. They were chartered to house Ukrainian people that lost their homes thanks to that screwball megalomaniac in Russia named Vladimir Putin. So the Volendam is back in service. It's one of my favorite ships. I worked it for years. It was built in 1999, the same year I was married. So it's 23 years old. It was completely refitted in 2014. I've yet to have that complete refit. I desperately need it. It's one of my favorite ships. It only carries 1,440 guests. It's not the big monsters that they're building nowadays. It's a wonderful product, and I used to tell people all the time, every Holland America ship carries $2 million worth of antiques if you don't count the guests. And that is the update for this Monday as we sail our way into Astoria, Oregon, and break out the brollies and what do you call those raincoats, I guess. There's a word for that up in the Northeast. People up here like this. You know, this particular cruise and last cruise is somewhat different. They're sold out cruises, 2,700 guests, and almost everybody is from the United States. And all those people are all from the state of California. Normally, you know, on a ship with 2,700 guests, there'll be like 12 or 15 different countries, and there'll be 12 or 15 different languages. On this cruise, there's only 2 languages being spoken, English and Mandarin. And Mandarin is being spoken a lot more than English. So I had an interesting welcome aboard show the other night with everybody wearing the mask just staring at me because I don't speak Mandarin. In fact, when I go to a Chinese restaurant, I order by the number. Have a good Monday. I'll see you tomorrow from Seattle.